They called me in for my hearing, and all I could remember is Jim from the cell telling me, when it's bigger than you, give it to him. When it's bigger than you, get it off you. Don't carry it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck this old guy's talking about. Like, I'm not carrying anything. I'm belly chained right now, man. What are you talking about? So I get in there, and all I remember is the judge and the state arguing about CPS taking my kids. I'm like, wait, I've been in jail 8 days, and y'all haven't taken my kids yet? So I look over my shoulder, and two of the club members that were still supportive go running out trying to get on the phone to get my kids before CPS can get there. And then I hear them battling a little bit more, and I'm just like, I'm going to pass out, man. Like, I haven't eaten. I'm sick. I got loopy Jesus dude preaching at me. Like, this is just too much for me. I don't even know what's going to happen. All I remember is, Jim, it's bigger than you, brother. It's bigger. You need to let it go, man. I grabbed both my belly chains, and I stared up at the sky. And, you know, it's like you're on stage in a concert in court. Those lights are hot, and I'm just like, oh, this is all going to go bad. I closed my eyes, and I said, look, man, if you're real, if there's any spirits or anything up there that's listening, you've got a warrior down here. You know, the one thing I know how to do is keep my word and get your back. If you show me, I'll show you. And before I even said amen, they lowered my bond to $50,000. I walked out of that courtroom looking over my shoulder like, did that just fucking happen? Like, really, for real? Did that just go down? When I get back to the cell, Jim's kind of standing in the window, not pompously looking at me, but very anxiously waiting the outcome. Like, not I told you so. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for him to be like, well, I told you. And I walk in, and he's like, tell me, what happened? I'm like, you don't fucking know? Like, you told me what was going to happen. He's like, no, I just gave you a message. Like, you got to tell me how it went down. And when I told him, he's crying out of both eyes like, see?
Damn, dude.
He goes, I've only been walking this 7 months. I'm an ex-junkie. I'm an ex-biker. Like, I didn't know none of this before my walk, but I gave him my word. Now I want to give you mine. So he gives me a business card that had his church and all this other shit on it, and I'm lost. I got to get out of jail, go tell my club that I'm done. I'm laying my shit down, and I'm going to go to church. Yeah, that's going to fly over like a fart in church. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to go all bad. This is going to go, I could just tell. I could feel it. Well, it didn't. It didn't go that bad. You know, my club was like, you know what, man, you got to do what's right for you and your family. Handle it. So I started joining this church. I brought my wife. I brought my kids. We got baptized. We poured our lives into this thing thinking this is exactly where we're supposed to be. Then the elders came up to me and said, hey, man, now you use cannabis, don't you? Yeah? Why? Well, you can't be here. Hold up. I can't use my medicine and come pray to God? Because why? Well, because we don't agree with that. We don't believe in that. I said, well, you know, I've read a couple chapters, and there's a couple in here that actually mention it. Just saying. You know, Revelations 22 and all this other stuff I've been hearing about.
Well, what do they say about it?
Well, honestly, at that point, I didn't know. I knew Genesis had said some stuff because that's all I had gone to.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's crazy about that verse is once the church kicked me out, I went home. This is the first time in 40 years I've ever thought of suicide. And I'm not that dude. I'm half full. I'm never half empty. But when the church kicked me out, now I got to tell my kids that, you know, we lost our house. We lost everything. We've been raided. You ate an AR-15 for breakfast. Now you can't even go to youth fellowship. You can't even go pray. You can't even go hang out with your friends at church because they kicked me out because of me. It's probably the most empty feeling you can deal with. So I've never been that guy, but for once I was like, you know what? If I get life, who's going to take care of my family? Like, there's no insurance program for people who get life. You know, if you die of something and you have insurance, that might help you. So I could think of just leave the truck running and I'll just sit in the garage. It'll be an accident. Like, I didn't know. You know, maybe then my kids will actually get a little bit of benefit or insurance or something if I'm not here. And right when I thought that thought, I slammed my hand down where I was sitting at my desk on my laptop, and I'm yelling at the ceiling, like, what did I do, man? I gave you my fucking word. Like, I've done everything you've asked me to do. Well, my laptop pops up, and the numbers thing was there. There was a commercial. It was a split screen. On half of it was like 222 Sirius Radio. And it was I looked it up. It was my friend Shannon from college who owns a Sirius Radio. So she was advertising.
I was about to say 222.
Yeah. I was like, who the hell is that? I didn't even know. And it's my friend from Yavapai. Well, on the other half of the screen, it said Revelations 22:2 from Calvary Church. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like, for one, why are they together? And two, why isn't the verse with it? Why is it just the numbers? So I'm still pretty new in my walk. I know that Genesis is in the beginning, Revelations in the end. So I'm curious. I grab my book, I open it, and that's when I read the verse. You know, I give to you seed-bearing plants to heal all nations. And I just started to cry. Like, I literally started to bawl. Like, this is the second time this dude answered me.
Yeah.
Like he's telling me, you're doing God's work. You're doing
Fucking
what
A.
we want you to do. You're doing exactly.
Dude, that is.
And at that moment, I realized that it wasn't about me being a biker, and it wasn't about the the cops hitting me, and this whole media frenzy. It wasn't about that at all. I mean, look.
Yeah,
Fuck,
we're
man.
here,
You know what I mean?
brother.
It's all about.
Fuck.
It's my story now is about testimony
Yes.
and sharing
Yes.
and showing, and now I get to help so many more people just by fellowship, just
Yes.
by giving that. So, people ask me all the time, "Are you this big Jesus freak now?" No, I wouldn't go that far. I don't go to church. My favorite shirt that I wear is "Churches left the building." I don't need to go to a tax exempt building and give them a whole bunch of tithing because this old dude says I do, and then talk shit when I walk out of the room because I smoke a bowl.
No shit.
It's spiritual for us.
Just walk the walk.
That's it. You know, I just felt like because of that testimony, I'm not comparing me to Jesus or God or nothing like that, but I feel like without that testimony, the documentary, the book, the whole story, it never would have happened.
Bang.